Hi guys. Hello. Welcome to Nana's channel. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I did a live, and guys, my head is cutting off. I'm trying to fix this. Don't worry, you guys. Right now, it's actually midnight where I am, but I said I have to get this live going no matter what. So, welcome to Nana's channel, you guys. If you're watching, let me know in the comments. Feel free to join me on the live. I have pinned link. Click on that link and you can join me on live and ask me questions. Right now, I don't see anybody watching, but I know people will watch after the fact. And so feel free to leave a comment and like. Guys, if you like these videos, that's the only way I get to reach so many people, and that helps me a lot. So thank you so much for always clicking. This camera, you all, I look so ashy. Look at my hands. My hands in real life are not this ashy. Oh my goodness. Anyways, you guys, today I'm answering your questions. As I told you, there's so many questions. I get so many questions on my DM. I get so many questions on my Instagram, Facebook, mostly. And some people always leave comments on my YouTube videos. So thank you guys for always clicking. So today I'm going to be answering those questions, you guys. There's confusion. I would just say there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of information, and people don't know where to start. People do not know where to go. If you're watching, please let me know if you can hear me, please, because I don't know if I'm talking to myself or not, but I hope somebody can hear me or somebody will be able to watch and hear what I'm saying. Anyways, you guys, as I told you, it's midnight. It's exactly midnight. Actually, it's 3 minutes past midnight. Yeah. But I said I have to do this video and get it done with. So I'm going to be answering a lot of questions. I see a lot of questions on my DM, and some of them I just don't know how to start, because you can see that people are really genuine and they do not know where to start, how to start, what to do. They want to do it, but they don't know how to. They want to come to Canada, but they don't know how to. They don't know what visa to apply for. They don't, literally no information, or they have a lot of information until they're confused. So today I'm going to be making things so simple. I have actually written down a couple questions that I'm going to let guide me throughout this live. But in case anybody joins me, feel free to leave a comment on the comment section and I will be answering as we go. Now, the first question I will be answering: can I work before I start school in Canada? Okay. So to give you a little bit of context, this is a person who has applied for international student permit, and probably they've gotten it, and they've gotten it early. So that means they're coming before school begins. For example, they're starting school in September of 2024, but they've gotten a visa maybe in May or in June, or months earlier than when their school is supposed to start. So they're asking, can I work? Can I come to Canada early, start working as I wait to go to school? Now, you guys, I'm going to be answering these questions with facts backed by information either from Google, or mostly it's going to be coming from the government of Canada website. So for me to answer that question, I'm just going to share my screen a little bit, and yeah, hopefully we can get that. All right. So you guys, this is just a simple Google search. If you go on Google and type exactly that question, and this question came directly from my DM. Can I work? Can I work before starting school in Canada? And this only applies to international students. Of course, if you're Canadian, you can work whenever you want. But if you're coming to Canada with international student permit, you are not allowed to work before school starts. It says you can only start working in Canada when your study program has started. You can't work before you start your studies. As simple as that, you guys. As simple as that. So some of these questions, if you're confused, if you're not sure, always just ask, okay? You can always ask Google, you can ask YouTubers who are in Canada or who talk about Canada. Always ask. The answers are always there. So if you're coming to Canada, you get your visa early, please. That is your answer. But what I would say is that the people who come here and they start working, chini ya maji. So that chini ya maji depends on person to person. Hi guys, there are 2 people watching. Welcome. Thank you so much. Please tell me where you're watching me from. I would really appreciate. Anyways, what I was saying is that you're not allowed to work before school begins. Okay? But you can come and do cash jobs. Those jobs that you're paid in cash. You know what I mean? However, take note that when you get to the not NBC. When you get to the airport, you will be sometimes you might be asked, why are you coming early when your school is starting way later or months later? Don't say you want to come here and work. No, 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 no. You'll be returned back to your country. Don't do it. Just say you're coming early to familiarize yourself, know the place, find accommodation, stuff like that. They will let you in. But don't do a mistake of saying at the point of entry, whether airport or if you're coming by sea or if you're coming by road, do not say that you're coming to work. You're not allowed to, okay? I think I have exhausted that as much as I can. I'm going to go to the next question, which is, who needs a medical exam? This is a question that I get a lot. And also part of this question, it talks about, oh, I have this condition. Will I be allowed to come to Canada? Okay. I'm going to share my screen again just to show you, and I'm going to give you an answer from the Canadian website. So, medical exam. So you guys, if you can see on the screen, you see this is Canadian government website. Let me show you. You see it's written Government of Canada, official, which is why I was telling you I will be answering you with facts. So this is the official Government of Canada website. It says, who needs a medical exam? Okay. If you plan to stay for 6 months or less, either as a visitor or, as a visitor, as a student, or as a worker, less than 6 months. This is what the Government of Canada says. Wait, what did I do? One sec, you guys. Okay. If you plan to stay for 6 months or less, you generally do not need a medical exam. Okay? Unless you plan to work in certain jobs for those 6 months in which public health must be protected. Examples of such jobs include workers in healthcare, clinical laboratory workers, patient attendants, medical students, medical electives and physicians, workers in primary and secondary school settings, workers who give in workers who give in-home care to children, elderly, and disabled, day nursery employees, and similar jobs. If you plan to stay for more than 6 months, you need a medical exam if at least one of these applies to you, okay? You have lived or traveled to one or more of these countries for 6 months. And there's a list of countries. So if you've traveled to these countries, my friend, the list is exhaustive. Afghanistan, Algeria, Albania, American Samoa, Andorra, Angola, Antigua, Argentina, Armenia, Australia. You can go through the list. Generally, if you're coming to Canada for more than 6 months, you need a medical exam, period. Okay? If you're coming here to work, you need a medical exam. If you're coming here as a student, you need a medical exam. If you're coming here as a visitor for more than 6 months, especially in case of parents who are coming to visit through the super visa for like 2 years, you need a medical exam. Okay? All right. Still on the topic of medical exam. Where can you get this exam done? So we have panel physicians which are actually approved by IRCC. So you cannot do this exam anywhere else other than through these panel physicians, okay? I have talked about medical exam exhaustively in my channel, and I would highly encourage you to go to my channel. I have a whole playlist talking about medical exam. I don't know if I'm still sharing the screen, but you guys, this playlist, it has so many videos of me talking about medical exam, giving examples of okay, are we back? Giving examples of conditions that would limit your chances and how to go about them. So I would highly encourage you to go to my YouTube channel. There's a playlist just dedicated for medical exam. That will help a lot. But there's this question: I have TB. Am I allowed to come to Canada? Yes, you're allowed to Canada. That's the simplest answer I could give. Yes, you are allowed to Canada with TB. You will just have to take a medication. Once you're treated, yes, Canada allows you to come. Okay? All right. Without taking too much time on that, I'm going to go on to the next, which is sorry, guys. I played something. Okay, so next question. Are there free hosts in Canada, or can you host me in Canada? I get this question a lot, like a lot. And usually my answer is no, I cannot host you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. And I'm just being honest, you guys. So, where do I start? Are there free hosts in Canada? No, there aren't. There are no free hosts. Don't let anybody lie to you. I've seen these videos going on. Lots of videos on TikTok talk about, oh, I have a host in Canada ready for you, blah, 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 apply, caregivers, blah, blah, blah. There are no free hosts here in Canada. Point blank. I'm living here in Canada, and even me, I cannot even get a free host. Don't be lied to. There are no free hosts. Have you seen those videos in Toronto where people are sleeping outside in tents? And the most recent one, is this of this lady, Kenyan lady, dying because she could not get access to a shelter. It is serious, guys. There are no free hosts. Canadians themselves, some of them are homeless. Housing here is so expensive that it is very easy for you to be homeless even if you have money. So how can somebody be a free host? Unless they're millionaires and they have these big houses, then yeah. But for you to find a host here in Canada, it's close to impossible. Even those jobs that they're talking about, the caregiving jobs, you're not going to live with them, with those people, unless you're going in as a living nanny. Then that's a different case. But this care work, yeah, are you going to live in a group home or in a facility with people who are mentally disabled? They won't even allow that. So when I see these people saying that, oh, I have a host in Canada, no, it's a lie. Don't fall into that trap. There are no hosts, there are no free hosts here. Now, can you host me? You guys, I get this question a lot. Can I host you? You guys, I would have loved to host all of you. I would. But I'm not rich yet. I am not there. I cannot. Myself, I'm still struggling in this small house of mine. It is impossible. Now, here in Canada, there are different types of apartments and suites. So you can get a basement suite, that is somebody's house and they're renting the basement, or you can get an apartment. If somebody lives in apartment, they kind of can host you. But if you live in a basement situation, it's kind of a little bit hard for people to host you, because most of these basements, the owners or the landlords and landladies specifically say that we only need one person to live. We don't one person, single occupant, to live in that space. So if you're living like myself right now, I live in a single occupant basement. I am only allowed to live there by myself. Of course, I can have friends visit. I can have people visit, but it's only visit. And sometimes it cannot go more than 2 weeks, or sometimes 1 week, 2 weeks, yeah, at a time. So finding accommodation, one, is a task, even for Canadians here in Canada. So for you to say that, oh, you have a host in Canada who will host you, these agents in Kenya, like, I don't understand. It's a lie, you guys. It's a lie. Do not fall for it. You will suffer. Okay. Now, how do you go about this situation? You've gotten a visa, and most of people I know, they get the visiting visa. So now they look for hosts. If you apply for a visitor's visa, just make sure you have money for Airbnb for a period of time if you're still coming to, look around, check around, look for a job. Or pay rent for, like, just have some money to, like, cater for your accommodation and food for, like, at least 2-3 months. If you don't know anybody here in Canada, you don't have family, you don't have a friend, make sure you have that money. Otherwise, you will suffer. You will suffer, my friend. Accommodation here is not easy, and it's not easy even for Canadians. So for somebody who is in Kenya to tell you that, oh, I have a host for you in Canada, my friend. Now let me tell you something. Agents, they come and sell sweet things to you guys. And I get it. They're there for the money, you guys. That is their job. They're salespeople. They're trying to win you over so that you pay them commission. And then once you get to Canada, you're not their business. Some of them will not even get you to Canada. It's like a bet. It's not sure. So if The deal is too good. Think twice about it. I've had ridiculous things from agents that I'm just like, really? So these agents, they're doing that is their business. They have to make money. You need to understand that. Do your own research. Okay. There are some things that they sell you guys that don't make sense as long as they get their commission. So be very careful, especially with those that are telling you that, oh, they're free agents, or I have a host. Mm-mm. Okay. If they have a host, tell them to actually connect you to that host. Talk to that host before you come to Canada and make sure that host is hosting you, my friend. Me, I've never seen a host here in Canada who is hosting people. Finding a place here in Canada, even me, it's been taking me 3 months. I'm looking for a space because where I live, right? Okay, long story short, I'm looking for a place and it's been 3 months. I'm going for interview. Getting a house is like going for an interview. And I've gone for like 3, 4 interviews and I don't know if I failed or I was not the right match. So getting a house to pay rent is a problem. So how about getting a host? So I've exhausted that. You guys just be careful. If you're coming to Canada, make sure you have some money. Some money to pay for rent for a period of time before you settle in. Okay, or Airbnb or something. Don't just come here with empty-handed. Otherwise, you will sleep outside. And this country is cold. You can freeze to death. Okay, I've exhausted that. So, yeah. The next question. How can I get a visa? I get this a lot. How can I get a visa? Sometimes I don't know how to start answering this question, but sometimes I'm like, okay, what type of visa do you want? And people don't know. People don't know because they don't. It makes sense that they do not know. So you guys, there are very many types of visas. But today I want to introduce you to this kind of visa. There's one visa that I want to introduce you to is called express entry. Okay, there's so many visas, one of which is visiting visa. The second is a student permit. The third is a work permit. The fourth is a permanent resident permit. Those are the major permits or visas that we have. So if you want to come to Canada, identify which visa you want. Do you want a student visa? Do you want a work permit? Do you want a visiting visa? Or do you want a permanent resident permit? Once you know those four, then it's easier for you to look at one by one and check which one you qualify for and which one suits you best. And then you go ahead and apply for that. Today, I'm going to introduce you to express entry. I have talked about this before, but I'm going to share my screen. Again, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm going to share my screen again, but I'm going to introduce you to this express entry. So there are 3 immigration programs under express entry. There's Canadian Experience Class. This is where you need Canadian experience. If you're outside Canada, leave this alone. There's Federal Skilled Worker Program. This one, even if you have foreign work experience, you qualify. Pay attention to this one. And Federal Skilled Trades Program. This one, pay attention to as well. So step 1, what in very short summarized points. How do you go about it? Step 1, find out if you're eligible. How do you find out if you're eligible? Answer these questions. Just click on these links. You answer those questions. It will tell you whether you are eligible or not. Check your score. Now, if you are eligible, you're going to get this link. Okay, you're going to go to that profile that you have created, those answers that you have those questions that you have answered, they will calculate your points, because this is a point-based system. It will tell you how many points you have. If you have high enough points to be invited to apply for permanent residency, then you will be invited. You can create your profile and then you will be invited. You get your documents ready after you have been invited and send them to IRCC. They will process them and then you will get your visa. Okay. So I would really encourage you guys to go through this. Click all these links. Do your research. You can do it. Click these links. It takes you it gives you all the information that you need to apply. And then you can come to Canada as a permanent resident. My friend, there's a way that you can come to Canada as a permanent resident. Achana na leave a student permit, a work permit, a visiting visa alone. Like those ones, you come here, you still hustle, and then finally you apply for permanent residency. But in this pathway, you can come to Canada as a permanent resident through express entry. So if you have experience back in your home country, if you have post-secondary education, those adds to your point. You also need a not a medical exam, sorry, a language exam, either French or English. So if you have a medical exam and you have out of country experience, how about you try? Okay, just do the IELTS, you guys, and then you can qualify to come to Canada as a permanent resident. How cool is that? Yeah. Otherwise, other than that, you can come here with a visiting visa. I always do not encourage this. People will tell you that as long as you get to Canada, as long as you get, however you do it, as long as you get here, it's a lie, my friend. There are people who have done it, the people who have come with visiting visa, but it's hard. It's hard. Those are the stories you hear that, oh, people are sleeping outside, oh, people are dying of cold, people are freezing to death. It's not easy, okay? You're coming here as a visitor and then you say you're going to claim for asylum or apply for an asylum. Sometimes your application is not even going to be allowed, and then what? You go back. It's a really bad gamble. I wouldn't encourage that. If you can come to Canada as a student or with a working visa or as an express entry, those are the best pathways. Okay. So people who ask, how can I get a visa? What visa? What type of visa do you want? Okay. Do your research, find out which one do you want. You want a visiting visa? If you want a visiting visa, there are different pathways, there are different qualifications, there are different documents that you need. And then, yeah, we can go from there. If you want a work permit, again, Canada website, go to this Government of Canada that I've shown you. It has links to Job Bank, which is the official job website for Canada, where you can apply for jobs. Once you apply for jobs, then you can comfortably come to Canada with a work permit. If it is a resident permit, you can apply through express entry, foreign work, foreign skilled work, and then come to Canada with your family, with your permanent resident card. That's the best option, you guys. But you have to do the English exam. English exam you will have to do whether you're in Canada or you're outside Canada. It would be hard to do it. I was just lucky that I did it here in Canada, because when you apply for permanent residency, you have to do the English exam or French exam. So I did my English exam. All right. So the next question is, I get this a lot as well. Annie, do you know any genuine or trusted agent that can help me come to Canada. You guys, I want to say that if you do your research and you do it well, you can do it by yourself and come here by yourself. But in the event that you're busy or you just trust the service of an agent, I only know of one agent who is in East Africa that is genuine and it's free because they're paid commission by the universities and colleges here in Canada to get students from Africa to Canada. And that agent is UNICEF. I think I've also shared this with you before. So UNICEF, you guys. This is the only agent that I know of that I've heard my friends who came abroad talk about. I didn't use them personally, but they're free. They're paid commission by universities here, so they will not charge you. So if you get your visa, you just know, my friend, you're not paying like $3,000 the way those private agencies make you pay. And they don't just deal with Canada, they deal with Australia, the UK, the US, other countries as well. So I think they're in Westlands. The last time I checked, they were in Westlands. I don't know if they moved their offices, but yeah. So that's the only trusted agent that I can tell you about, but they only focus on study permits. If you want any other kind of visa, like visiting visa or work permit or express entry, I really don't know which one is genuine. I don't know. Most agents will just bring you here with a visiting visa and then wanakuacha hujisort. So yeah, if you want to come here as a student, UNICEF is the best. Okay, guys. Okay, the next and the last question. We've been here 30 minutes. I don't want this to be too long. So then the last question is, which towns need workers in Canada? Which towns need workers in Canada? You guys, I needed to talk about this now. I don't know why people love big towns, but we are all different. There are people who love big towns, there are people who love small towns, but a lot of immigrants, when they come, they go to Toronto. Toronto. A lot of people, when they come here, they want to go to Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. And I do understand everybody wants to go to the capital. It's the biggest, blah, blah, blah. But you guys, a lot of immigrants go there. So it's a lot of people. So competition is, of course, much higher. So my people, if I were you, I would go to smaller towns. It is in the smaller towns that need workers. They are desperate for workers. And how do I know? Because I was living in a small town. When I came to Canada, by chance, my university is in a small town of Kamloops, the Kamloops. Okay, and then I moved to even a smaller town, which was Vernon. These are smaller towns. They're in Canada. They are good towns. You will get almost everything you get in bigger towns. The only difference is that getting a job is way easier, especially care job, especially, these jobs that like entry level jobs. You will easily get them in small towns. People go to Toronto and they're stranded. They can't get a job. It takes them 2, 3, 4, 5 months before they can get an entry level job, something that they didn't even like a cleaning job. So I would highly encourage you to go to a smaller town. And you know what? Once you make your money, once you get Canadian experience, you can always move to a bigger town or a bigger city. Okay, you don't have to live there forever. But for entry, go to these small towns. So I actually checked for small towns, and I'm just gonna give you a few of the small towns that I came across. But yeah, these are some of the small towns and villages in Canada, as they call them. There's the Dawson City, population of 1,600. St. Andrews, population of 2,000. Tofino is my neighbor here, 2,500. Victoria. Victoria does not have 74. No, unless it's 74,000. Then Niagara on the Lake. This is the cutest town in Canada. Elora. And then we have Churchill. Other than that, you guys, also there are towns like Vernon, Kamloops, Lake Country, Summerland. We have, which one else? Which I asked this one that I used to go to is a very beautiful small town. There's Kelowna, there's okay, I'm forgetting some off my head. There's Revelstoke. I know those because I used to live close to those places. There's Osoyoos, there's Chase, there's Golden, there's Lake Louise, Lake Banff, Banff town. This smaller city, you will easily get job because they're desperate to get employees, because there are not so many people going there. A lot of people will come and go to major cities. Okay, so if you're coming here for care work, for these entry-level jobs, nakusihi, please go to these smaller towns and thank me later. You know, everybody wants to go to Toronto. I don't know what is it about Toronto. I've never been to Toronto, my friend. 4 years I've lived in Canada. I've never been. The stories that I hear come out of Toronto, I don't even want to go. Forgive me if you're living in Toronto, but no, you can just stay in Toronto, you guys. I'm telling you, it's bad. So if you're coming to Canada, I know Toronto is big. You might be tempted to go to the capital. Toronto is not even the capital of Canada, you guys. It's not. The capital is Ontario. Is it Ontario or Ottawa? No. Wait. What's the capital of Canada? Is it Ontario or Ottawa? It's Ottawa. Is it? Ontario is the province. It's Ottawa. Actually, it's Ottawa. Ottawa is the capital of Canada. So if you're coming to Canada, you guys, you can go to Alberta. Calgary is a nice city. I don't know about the jobs because it's a big city as well. Vancouver is very big as well. I also don't know about the jobs there because it's very big and everybody's going to bigger cities. There's Edmonton. You can go to Edmonton. There's Quebec, there's Montreal. Those are big cities in Canada. You don't just have to go to Toronto, you guys. Thank me later. These small towns that I've mentioned, you will find a job. I'm telling you, I was living in a small town and I couldn't work because I didn't have time to work. Sometimes I could work 20 hours out of 24 hours in a day. Just because I had 3 jobs, I leave this one, I go to another one, I leave another one, I go to another one. And I'm just like, I will die if I don't stop. So if you're coming to Canada as an immigrant, don't go to those bigger cities. Go to smaller cities. They're desperate for workers. And you will find a job there. Once you find a job, you'll find your papers. Once you find your papers, you can move anywhere. You can go to bigger cities. If you want to go to Toronto, if you want to go to Vancouver, if you want to go to Calgary, you can go to those bigger cities. Now, you guys, we have been here for 40 minutes. I have seen people come in and go. Thank you so much for those who joined me. I hope to see you again in my next video. Feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section if you watch this video after. Let me know what you want to know from Canada, and I will gladly share. Anyways, thank you so much for keeping me company. For the people who kept me company, I will try to do this live more often because they're fun and interactive. Even though today I didn't see so many people join me live, but you never know. We'll continue doing this. But thank you, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. There's one person who is there. Thank you so much for joining, but unfortunately, I am leaving already. Feel free to watch the video after. I will post the video. It will be public. So yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video or in my next live. If you want to join me on my live on screen, again, feel free so that we can chat and you can ask me those questions live or we can just share. Thank you so much and have a lovely, lovely day wherever you're watching me from, or a lovely night. I am going straight to bed because right now is actually almost 1 a.m. and I have work tomorrow. You guys, look, this is the time. 12:41 a.m. in the morning. You know, the things I do for you, for the love of you guys. Okay, so I will just like close off and go to bed. I will see you in my next video, you guys. Let me know what you think about this video and bye-bye.